Oh man. Oh man. It's your boy back again with the trade reviews for 11/3/22. You see, and I think you know exactly what it do. Let's go ahead and jump right into this, y'all. Let's go ahead and I put Apple on my chart for whatever reason. I think I was having a conversation or I was listening to a conversation and I had to look at Apple because everybody had the customary Apple versus Samsung debate, and I had to say, hey, Apple has a significant war chest. They have like 53 billion in their war chest over their debts, right? Assets to debt ratio or debt to asset ratio. So, anyways, let's go ahead and look at the Nasdaq. See what happened yesterday. Today, apparently, is NFP non-farm payroll. When is that going to happen? I don't see those numbers on my chart. Where's that non-farm payroll? So when we look at yesterday, what happened? Okay, so we were looking for price to come up and tap into this particular zone. Now we can go ahead and zoom in. By the way, yesterday I did not take a trade. There weren't any setups that ultimately triggered me to get into anything. So yesterday was no trade day for me. And on quite frank, I was doing other stuff. So bam, break up, break down. Yeah, that would have been an L for me. Double MB right here. I'm just looking immediately, right? If I'm looking at the 5 minute, probably zoom in. And this would have been the problem ultimately is that it didn't tap into that supply zone, and I was already looking to preemptively take that sell on a 5 minute time frame. 1 second here, y'all. Your man's moisturize, If you can, why not? Just the way it goes, right? You gotta live life, live your best life for those who can't. Being put in the position to do it, or maybe not. You just keep learning things and knowing stuff. So here we go. Break above, break down, break down. So on a 1 minute, we're seeing something like this potentially, which still not very good. And again, this is all based on it's still not tapping in there, right? So these are very, very risk entries. Believe that, as they would say, as some would say. But you can see on the good old market cipher here, it looked like it came close to the top. We have an anchor trigger. So we have double trigger waves here. Uh, and that's pretty much bullish divergence here, which is interesting. That probably would have got one loss and one win. So if you're looking at the bullish divergence, let me go ahead and show you what I'm talking about, right? Right. So this technically isn't a bullish divergence until it comes up to here. So if we would have said, hey, we're not just doing anchor trigger, waiting for, we say anchor trigger, but we're going to see a bullish divergence as well, then this wouldn't have been a loss. And then you go ahead and take something like that, stop below the high, probably would have got in a little late like that. And then you write it down 1 to 5. Or, you see the break and then you start to see some pullbacks here. And then we go down to the 15 second. Down to the 15 second, y'all. So anchor trigger, ooh, man. Yeah, not really that great. C2 here. Potentially get in here on the 15 second. But what we're looking at, okay, we see a break above, fall down, starts to pull back. Probably would have done a extreme risk here. Me personally, knowing how I trade, I would have saw it start pulling back and said, okay, risk entry. Yeah, you get about a 1 to 5 there, which isn't too bad. It isn't too bad at all. That's how I would have got involved. But, we're all different. So let's see. That's pretty much on the NASDAQ, right? I didn't take a trade yesterday. So what I'm just trying to show you all now is the different types of entry criteria that you could have used on the various time frames that you could have used them on, and just really reviewing how you could have got involved in this particular move down, which on a higher time frame, it's really not that long of a move, but we're looking at these lower time frame candles and it looks like, it just fell off the face of the earth, which, maybe it did. So now we're looking here and we start to look and we're like, okay, well, last up, right, this was an anchor. So we're not seeing anything on the 5 second, but we come down, we see a break here, body break, bam, pull back, and this is actually an entry here. You see something like that? Sell stop. Stop above a high, give it some cushion. And you see, for the fractal nature of it, allows you just really to see the different entries that could have presented themselves. So there's a lot of different ways you could enter here, right? You saw me look at the 5 minute, right? And look, this is all in one area. And it didn't even hit the zone. So none of these technically are valid. But what I'm saying is, if you're doing a little bit of risque, then yeah. But of course, always follow your rules. Always be patient because patience wins out in this market. And following rules wins out in this market as opposed to being a rebel that we all want to be in America, right? You don't have to be a rebel in this market. You just have to set rules for yourself. You know, you don't have to railroad fight the system in trading. You just have to say, hey, these are the rules I'm going to follow. Come in, follow those rules, and consistently follow those rules. As long as you see that there's an edge that presents itself, you're consistently profitable. So now it looks like on the 5 minute we have a anchor and we have a trigger forming. Remember the rule that we kind of talked about yesterday. We want to see a plus or minus 15, right, max for a trigger to form after an anchor wave to say, hey, we're going to go higher. Now, this one is forming at 35. So will we take that? Probably not. But it looks like we started to break down here. We could possibly come up here. It's looking like this 200 would start to move down. And by the way, I'm not using all of this stuff on my actual trade. My chart is naked when I'm actually looking over ideas. But now, since we're reviewing, I'm just getting an idea of what these things consistently look like so that I can ingrain these patterns in my brain. So let's go ahead and go to GBP/JPY, see what happened. All right. It didn't do, obviously. I mean, this is a long, what is that, 196 pip? It's a long range to retrace back for a currency pair for sure in one day. So it looks like we're starting. We wanted to come. Well, we might be retesting something in here, but ultimately, man. I think we're probably gonna range. We might fall a little bit lower here before ultimately starting to come back higher. So nothing happened here. There weren't any potential trade opportunities or even risk opportunities because it didn't even get close to any zones. Let's see what happened on gold. Looks like we're still below the 200. It looks like we're breaking above. It's still looks like it's trying to find some little support here. And again, we have NFP apparently today. So we click this and we have the unemployment rate and the non-farm payroll today. So we have a forecast of 3.6, whatever that means, and a forecast of 200, whatever that means. This is lower than the previous, which probably isn't good. And this is higher than the previous, so probably isn't good either. So we probably will see maybe some spikes downward. I mean, we're getting, I guess, towards this long wick up. What is this? Oh, all right, we're getting to this long wick up. I mean, that's 18 pips. So, anyways, there wasn't anything on that on gold. On Bitcoin, looks like we just shot through that zone we were looking at. Oh, hold on. I guess if we technically didn't shoot through it, we just retested, came down a little bit, and yeah, I guess you could say we shot through it. Really, came up, retested this. Huh. Interesting. And then fits the criteria. Plus or minus 15, right? Anchor, trigger, plus or minus 15. So could have said, hey, let's take this bad boy, this bad dog. Take it up. And it just crossed over the 200 on the 5 minute. Pretty good trade, or it looks pretty beautiful. And what did it a lot? 1 to 4. Let it go. Went pretty high. Yeah, 1 to 16 on a 5 minute. My goodness. They got that trade. That's ridiculous. All right, so yeah, pretty much that's all I got for y'all on the review. So hit the comment, like, and subscribe, and I will talk to y'all later. Peace.